community level 5 coach on a 1-11 team called me and asked if I could help him win a game. They'd only won 1, and they had lost 11, and the parents and the kids were disillusioned. So I went and watched a game and a practice, and then I asked them to have a party. It seemed odd, but we had this party, and I told them there were 3 things they could do, and it will turn your season around. And so we spent the evening having pizza and talking about these 3 things that we could all do. And I had 3 things for the coach, 3 things for the athletes, and 3 things for the parents. End of March, I get this phone call. There were kids screaming on the phone in the background, and the coach was yelling something, and I couldn't understand him. And finally he said, "Shh, guys, quiet. Jungle, we won the city championships." I'm Jungle Jim Hunter, and you're listening to 831 Living Your Best Life, where we inspire participation, communicate precision, and empower performers to podium. And I hope you will tell your friends and relatives to go to their favorite podcast provider or to junglejimhunter.com and subscribe, download, click on like, rate, and review us, and become an 831er, someone that lives your best life so you can help others live their best life. Well, the coach wanted me to do this, and they wanted to live their best life. And in that group was a young boy named Mike. And his parents came to me and said, "Would you drive from the southwest of Calgary to the northwest of Calgary at least 1 day a week, maybe 2 days a week, and meet in a grassy field and train all these kids for next year?" And so I drove that spring every Tuesday and Thursday to this grassy field. The whole team came the first day. By the 5th week, there was one 11-year-old boy coming, Mike. That spring and summer, they drove him from northwest to southwest. The summer came, and he was there 5 days a week, every day, with the best of the best training. And at the end of that season of training in the summertime, and I had told his parents and him that he could come and have fun because he's 11. I wanted him to work out, but I also wanted him to do what he felt he could do. He went and tried out. He went from Community 5 to Community 1. The next year, he wanted to come on the desert experience, a bike trip of 500 miles in 5 days, and he rode his bike every day as a 12-year-old as far as he could, and then he would jump in the car, and he would help me serve nourishment to all the other riders. And he trained all summer. He ended up playing AA. Mike was a defenseman. It was amazing that he wanted to be a defenseman because his parents, well, his dad was 5'5", his mom was 5'8", and nobody in his family was tall. And on the bike trip, he trained and hung around with the best of the best every day, helping, watching, making notes. And he played AAA that next year. And for the next 4 years, he played AAA at the highest level. And at the end of his high school years, he applied for a coaching position and opportunities in coaching with Hockey Canada, and he started working as an assistant to get certified. Parents called me the last year that he played, and they thanked me because Mike was becoming a great coach and knew because he never was that tall that his chances of playing at higher levels were slim and none, and that he was becoming an outstanding coach of young hockey players. When I met with Mike 2 years later, after he was selected for a coaching opportunity, he bought me breakfast and he told me all the things he had learned those 7 years in how to train, learning what to say, when to say it, and watching other athletes respond to coaching and to training. He was growing because he knew what he was going to become. He wasn't trying to be something that he knew was out of his reach. He was totally comfortable being comfortable in his own skin. My quote for the day is this: "Your constant gaze is where you will graze." Where are you grazing? Where are you gazing? Where do you constantly wish you were? Or are you happy with the field that you're in because you know what you're becoming and you're growing where you're becoming what you're becoming? Mike was small. He knew he had short parents and no one was tall in his family, but Mike came to learn and grow so he could have spent those 7 years hanging out with his friends. He could have been just having a good time, but he wanted to hang out with the best of the best. And Mike wanted to hang out with the best of the best of the best so he could learn what makes them tick, so he could make a difference in other young aspiring athletes' lives. Mike's parents, well, they did what I think a parent should do. Number one, they invested in Mike's growth and not results. Number two, they got out of the way. And number three, they lived their best life enjoying Mike living his best life. Mike applied and was one of the few chosen, a handful chosen by Hockey Canada to go to the top coaching school in Finland, and has been coaching elite teams in Europe, helping other young athletes live their best life. I want to thank you for living your best life, and I hope on this holiday weekend coming up, you will think about how you can grow to live your best life. I hope you will have grown by the time we meet next time.